Hey everyone, it's P4L and back with another Iron Factory review. Again, Iron Factory 2018. This is actually the Racing Bros HeavyMetal IF EX-26H, which is their G2 Sideswipe. This was, I guess, a limited edition or convention exclusive for the Shanghai SGG 10th anniversary. I didn't see it before, but I guess this and I think the Fans Hobby Shattered Glass Powermaster Prime. In any case, we'll go ahead and review this. Taking a look at packaging, we have our standard box. If you recall, the first one came in a 2-pack. The regular Sideswipe came in a 2-pack along with Sunstreaker. This one comes standalone, kind of like their Red Alert. And on the back, you see some product images. He does get some extra unique weaponry like the sword and its sheath, as well as 2 separate hand cannons. And you can see some of the spiked accessories that make him really G2, right? But out of packaging, you go ahead and get the clamshell. You get some instructions here, which are slightly different than the ones we got with others. You can see it's 26H, and it does have the information on the swords. But since it's the exact same mold aside from the spiky wheels, not much else is changed. Out of the clamshell, you do get Sideswipe, and as I said, these extra accessories. So let's quickly take a look at the extra accessories first. He does have 2 unique hand cannons. They are painted in metallic silver. And you can see, like I said, they are unique. He does have a sword and sheath. Sorry about the lighting. Maybe I should tone it down a bit. Well, we'll just keep going. And it does come out very tight. Nicely molded. It's not just a straight sword. You can see that little edge that it gets. And a unique design on the back. It just slides right in. Or you can have him sport that here. And either the cannons or guns in his hands. And this actually tabs into these 2 sections in the back. Like so. It's kind of low, but I guess you could also flip it around this way to sit a little bit higher. And either way works, I think, with the sheath. This way looks a little bit better, I think. Sits a little bit higher, you get a little bit of the handle, and you can actually reach back and pretty realistically get a hand on it. Alright, so let's take these off real quick. Oh, one of the other things you can do is you can have these on, and for alt mode, I think what the purpose of these holes are for these guns to be able to peg in like this. Alright. Really quickly, let's do some quick comparisons. Here he is with the original mold. Here he is with Red Alert. And here he is with Jazz. A slight remold, retool, but essentially the same figure. These extra accessories do work. So if you remember, the first Sideswipe did come with some extra accessories, like 2 shoulder cannons and so forth. I didn't bring them out, but I'd have to dig them out. If you wanted, you can go ahead and reuse those here. I actually don't remember about Red Alert if he came with extra ones or not. I'd have to check back. But if he had some extra ones, I think that might actually look better. The red and silver might do a better deco match. So if you wanted to weapon him up even more, you would have those options at least. So let's take this out of the way. One thing I always like to mention in robot mode, because of the way that he comes packaged with the flat backpack, the backpack's on like a double hinge. So if you lift it up just a little bit, you can actually have a slightly more protruding backpack, but it allows you a full swivel at the waist without any interference. One last thing I did want to mention is that he does have a unique head sculpt. He has this kind of little growling face sculpt there. Kind of reminds me of, the last comparison I wanted to do, which was with the, here, let's get this out of his hands. Was with the G2 version, official version of the Masterpiece one. But yeah, they both have kind of the scowling face going on. I will say I'm a little disappointed in the redeco that they put in here, or lack thereof. They did change some paint, but it doesn't look all that G2 aside from the black and the red. I mean, there's none of that neon green, which I guess some people might not really like, but I think it's pretty iconic to the G2 design, so I don't know why they didn't offer it, or at least do what the official MP did, and provide some stickers or deco that you can put on yourself if you still want it. As it stands right now, it's more of like a recolor with a little bit of extra things tacked on than a real G2, I would say. I guess it's close enough. And I also always wondered why we don't get a lot of G2 redecos, to be perfectly honest, and Sideswipe seems to be the lowest hanging fruit. We always seem to get a G2 Sideswipe, but we don't get a lot of other G2s that we see. But anyway, that's just on the side. So let's go ahead and get into articulation. He does still have those janky, weird shoulders that are on a swivel there that really limit his articulation at the shoulder because it's on an angled shoulder joint. You can see that there, the white part. So you kind of go at a weird angle when you rotate the shoulder around. I don't know. I still don't really love this mold. He does have a bicep swivel, elbow bend. No wrist articulation is unless you count this transformation pin that allows you to go in, but no swivel at that. The head is on a ball joint, I should have mentioned that. And you can go all the way around. We did show off his waist swivel, but he does kind of have a hidden ab joint that you can make use of using the transformation joint. It's not really intended for this, but hey, it's there. So if you have some dynamic poses that you want to use this for, definitely partake. His ball jointed hips give him good range forward, back, and out. Did I do something wrong here? Oh, there we go. He does have more than 90-degree knee bend and double jointed ankles. So you get a lot of ankle range and then some toe. No heel. Oh, and then the thigh swivel. So yeah, that's really it for robot mode. Let's go ahead and get him transformed into alt mode. It's the exact same as the Sideswipe and red alert, so it's nothing you're not going to be familiar with. The first thing I like to do is actually deal with the backpack, so just pull that out. And then turn the head around at this point if you really want to hide it a little bit more. Go ahead and pull this hood up and this center section out. Let you clear the head. And again, pull out on this extended set of hinges here. It should, I believe, go like this. I may be mistaken, but it's something like this, like 90-degree angles. All right. With the hands, tuck them in, straighten them out. And then at the shoulders, you're going to hinge those forward towards the front, where that tab is going to go right in here. There we go. Maybe it's something like this. The hands do have to go in a little bit. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and rotate the waist 180 degrees. Flip out the heels like that, or the ankles, feet, whatever you want to call it. Flip in the toes. Open up these shin covers. You're going to want to rotate these in, like so. And I mentioned this in my previous review, or at least one of the previous reviews. They actually have tabs on the side of the hips that seem like they would go into these feet, but they actually don't. There's no tabs there. It's not necessary, but it's just kind of odd that they got rid of them and didn't get rid of the tabs. So if you want a little bit of a cleaner look and you're not opposed to modifying your figure, you can go ahead and just cut those off. Tab both halves of the legs in. And then these two tabs will go into the rear section there. Like that. And then there's tabs right there that will tab upwards into the roof. And with that, you have G2 Sideswipe in, I don't know why that's not tabbing in all the way, in alt mode. And like I said, the deco is really nice. It does have metallic red windshields and metallic red silver, but it doesn't have like that weird G2 feel to it without any green at all, neon green. Like I said, he does have these spiked wheels. They're kind of like attachments to the wheels that existed before. And for these weapons, again, you can kind of make use of them how you want, but you're going to use this tab. So here we have Iron Factories with the official MP in alt mode, kind of weaponed up the way they designed. I will say that Iron Factories does look nice with the spiked wheels. And again, I didn't deco mine up with the G2 labels, but Masterpiece did come with them as opposed to this. Alright. No really other use for the weaponry in alt mode. There's no other pegs that I can figure out. There's nothing in the instructions that really talk about it. But overall, it's a pretty clean alt mode alternative, kind of Lambo-ish. More of a modern Lambo, I guess. A futuristic one. But yeah, not really much going on here. So let's go ahead and get him transformed back into robot mode and finish off the review. So flip these open. Usually it's a little bit easier to get in from the bottom. Move these out. Untab the roof at the various points here, 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 and back here. And that'll give you the room to go ahead and extend the legs all the way down, making sure that you have these tabs aligned with these gaps so that you close it up. There we go. And separate the two halves. I will say be careful when you transform this guy. These are really sharp and sometimes you're grabbing and pulling. Just be very careful. Flip out the toes like so, and get the feet angled in some sort of normal angle. Rotate at the waist 180 degrees. Untab the arms up here. Get the hands down, get the fists down. Alright. You're going to want to tuck this back into the midsection of the body or upper body. Like so. Pull the hood down. Get this front section up. That'll give you clearance for the head. That down like so. Rotate the head around. And as I said before, with the backpack on the double hinge, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You can either leave that kind of away from the back so that you can do those poses, or you can tuck it in like so to make it a little bit sleeker and lose a lot of that articulation. And then again, with the weapons, I like to flip this around. Have these tucked in like so, and then just arm him with his weapons. And that's really it. So final thoughts. Again, I've never been a huge fan of this mold. Don't really care about G2, so this really isn't my bag, but it might be yours, baby. That was a really bad and dated Austin reference attempt, so maybe I'll edit that out. Nah, you know what? I'm going to keep it in, just so you guys know how corny I am. But as a figure as a whole, it still looks good. I just don't, I don't know. They're becoming like MMC in the sense that they're trying to remold a lot, but I think MMC accomplishes a lot more with their remold and does a lot of more remolding than just recolors that we're seeing a lot here. But it's still great quality plastic. It's still great paint that we see here. everything you've come to expect from Iron Factory, and it is nice that they even went so far as to give him 2 separate molded guns that are distinct from each other. But again, they could have went a little bit more, especially with the price. I think it's like $5 more than Red Alert was standalone. I think it's like $40 or something like that. I usually don't talk about price, but I think this is a direct comparison with the same mold of other releases. So I think it's kind of hard to justify a $40 price, but again, maybe it's because it's a limited run or something like that, or supposedly a limited run. In any case, there's nothing new here in terms of what you should come to expect. Everything's good, but nothing is so cool about this remold for me and personally that recolor personally that makes me think you should pay $40 for this. I think you should probably spend the money, you know, with some of their other cool releases that are coming up. Iron Factory has announced a lot of figures, and one of their most recent ones that I did a review for was their Tarn, which is awesome. So if you're going to spend the money on an Iron Factory figure, unless you're a huge Sideswipe or G2 fan, I would probably say you can probably spend your money better elsewhere, especially if you already have this mold. And again, this mold's it's not amazing. This one, pretty amazing. All right, well, I'm going to leave him here since this is a review for him. That's all for this review. If you liked the video, if it helped you out at all, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to keep up to date with what I do, go ahead and hit that notification as well, and you'll get notified of when I do upcoming reviews or streams or post something else new. All right? As always, pick this up from Toy Dojo in the link in the description below. And again, thanks to Iron Factory for sending this over. That's all for today, everyone. Hope you have a good one.